A/B testing is a lot like dieting and exercise. As e-commerce marketers, we know we need to do it, yet we seem to neglect doing it often. Why is that? Well, it can seem scary and it's hard to know where to get started. What do you even test first? How do you come up with a testing plan? How do you even know what to do? What tools do you even use? All these complicated questions. We'd rather just continue to put campaigns out and hope that it drives revenue. We still drive revenue, but we could be doing more if we actually embraced A/B testing and came up with a plan. Look, every change you make on your site is testing. You just have no idea what's happening. With A/B testing, it's testing, but you actually learn something. You know what's going on. So we should embrace it. In this video, I will show you how to embrace A/B testing. What is it anyways? What's the process for getting started? And best of all, what are some ideas so that way you could jump straight from this video, straight to your storefront and drive some more numbers for your brand. Okay, let's jump into the video. All right, folks, let's start from the top. A/B testing is very simple. It's the process of rolling out controlled tests to learn how your audience will react to those tests. Every time you roll a change out on your site, you are testing. However, with A/B testing, you're doing it in a controlled way that gives you the greatest chance at learning something about your audience, whether the test worked or not. That is the difference, right? So A/B testing is very powerful. It allows you to see what's actually making the changes happen, right? It's a way to isolate variables and test something against your audience. Why is it important? Okay, this is an easy one. It helps you learn what's actually going on when you release the changes to your site, like I mentioned. When you get really good at A/B testing, you can actually generate ideas and proactively try to improve things by coming up with what is called a hypothesis. Sounds very scientific, but not too much in our case as marketers. A/B testing can have big ramifications for your business. So let's cover a few of the benefits of testing next. So what can you expect as you embrace this new thing, right, in your marketing world, more A/B testing? Well, let's start with one of the most important things. It'll help you to reduce your cart abandonment. Look, this graph is super not good, folks. It's up and to the right, but in this case, that's not what you want. It looks like the S&P 500, but this is not good, right? This is not our 401k portfolio. This is actually more people abandoning their cart over time. You can see that as we get to 2024, we're already at 70% of people that are just getting all the way to putting something in their shopping cart and walking out. Can you imagine if you went to Walmart and everyone grabbed a shopping cart, filled it up with all their groceries, and then 70% of them walked out of Walmart and just left the food there in the cart and walked away? It would be like pure chaos. It'd be like the apocalypse, right? It's like unfathomable that would happen at Walmart, yet it's happening on your store. It's happening on your e-commerce store. Okay. So how can A/B testing help with this? Well, look, as we can see with this graph, most customers are doing this, and it's getting worse as the years go by. As the brand, this is killing you. This is just not good. You spent all those ad dollars getting this potential customer all the way to the finish line, only to see them break off at the last minute and never come back. Look, there's a lot of reasons why this could happen, but at least with A/B testing, you can start to narrow down the list and try to create a more confident customer going into the purchase. Increasing the confidence of the customer ahead of adding the item to the cart can help bring this number down. And not only that, it can increase the number of those confident purchasers adding something to their cart to begin with. Okay, so you can increase confidence. How can you do that? Well, there's a lot of ways to do that, and we're gonna go into that later in the video. But this is important. So this is one thing that you can change by creating a testing plan and optimizing the experience. Okay, particularly post cart, but there's also, you can test things during with the cart process. Okay, so there's a lot you can do here. Another big thing that we need to do that A/B testing can help you with as a marketer in the e-commerce world is by reducing your customer acquisition costs. This was the most pointless slide that I ever had to make. Why? You already know that it's getting more expensive by the second. Okay, literally, it got more expensive from the time I started this video till now. Literally in these like 5 minutes, your customer acquisition cost probably went up by 50 cents. Okay, that's how bad it is. It's getting expensive more and more every day, it seems like. And so A/B testing, what can it do? It can help to increase your conversion rate on the most key pages, smooth out your customer flow to create a more enjoyable experience, but also a higher conversion experience. And this is what is going to let you fight back on the rising customer acquisition costs. Okay, so this is really important. Gone are the glory days where you could spend money on Facebook ads and it just always worked. Those days are gone, and you know it. I know it. We all know it. It's sad. Wait, hope that the glory days will come back. Then it doesn't appear that they will. So we are left with just having to squeeze the most that we can out of this traffic. And really, A/B testing needs to be embraced if you want to do that. Look, there's a lot of other benefits. I could go all day on the other benefits. I'll just cover them briefly. You can test new branding, increase customer satisfaction with improved UI. So like I said, customer satisfaction is important. What that does is it'll help you influence the soft metrics, reduced returns, increased reviews, all the good stuff that comes from somebody being happy when they interact with your site. It's not just about getting more people to mash the add to cart button, as quick as possible. It's also about giving them an experience that they're going to be more intuitive and that they're going to be more confident in their purchase. Like I said, increasing the customer satisfaction is the name of the game here. And A/B testing will help you actually do that when you learn what changes are having a positive effect, on your audience. Remember, any site change is simply an A/B test with no control group. Okay, you're already testing by making a change on your site. You probably should introduce a control and do a proper A/B test so you can learn some more. I'll keep saying this because it's very important. So let's talk about the testing process and how it all works together in a virtuous cycle. Pretty simple stuff, but it's worth thinking about. You need to determine the conversion you want to improve. What's the metric? Hypothesize a change, identify the variables, create your variations, run your experiment, measure results, voila. And now we've learned something, okay? Next, let's talk about the hypothesis. I think the hypothesis is kind of important. What the heck is it anyways? It does sound scientific because it is scientific. We are kind of borrowing from science here. Thank you very much. But it's not too crazy to figure this out, okay? It's really simple. You already know it. It's very intuitive. It's just a statement, right? So it's a statement about what you think will happen. It's a hypothesis. Moving the add to cart button above the product description will increase the click-through rate of our products. Who knows, right? This is a statement. Maybe moving it below is better. We don't know. It's a hypothesis, though, that can be informed by what? Customer and conversion data, surveys, heat mapping tools, tons of different things, okay? Your own intuition, maybe, okay, as somebody who's operated the business for years. So these are the things that go into developing a hypothesis. Why is a hypothesis important? It just helps you come up with decent ideas, right? If you've actually taken the time to analyze the customer data, the surveys, everything, you're much more likely to come up with better ideas based off of a sound hypothesis. So don't skip this step. It's important. It's actually important. I know you want to get to the ideas and have me just tell you what to do, but that will never work as well as just understanding your customers and you figuring out what to do based on your own specific, unique business. The moment you've all been waiting for, generating ideas. Well, let me help you generate some ideas. Here's a list. You can pause the video here if you want. Here's a list of a ton of different ideas. All these can work. I'm going to hone in on a few here, but realize there's a lot of different things you can try out on your site. Pause the video, take a look at this. There'll be a link in the description for a full A/B testing guide with a write-out that also has this written in written form. Check that out if you want to see more ideas, but here's some great ones. Okay, so we're going to hone in on a few. And first one we're going to pick is the shipping. Okay, so look, number one reason for cart abandonments, we saw how bad it was getting. Okay, it's like that S&P 500 graph, but bad. So this is the number one reason for why someone would abandon. Extra cost too high. Oh, you got slapped with high shipping. Not good. That's a huge thing that we need to resolve. All right, is how do we present shipping in a compelling way that will have people be confident in their purchase and feel like they're getting a good deal. Change your shipping policy, change how you show it, examine your shipping policies. If you have a low conversion rate, examine your shipping policies, see if there's a way you can make it better. See if there's a way you can present it more intelligently. Try to work it into the costs. There's a lot of different things you can do. Look at your shipping. Okay, number one, and be transparent about it. Another idea I want to hone in on, very simple. Where's your add to cart button? Is it in a good spot or not? I know this is super basic stuff, but you'd be surprised how many brands are not optimizing the location of their most important asset, which is the add to cart button, or it's hidden, or the design isn't very good, or whatever. Okay, so these are just two ideas. We've got a whole list here. All right, I'm honing in on the free shipping concept, and I'm honing in on the location CTA, the location CTA buttons. The list goes on and on. Okay, so that's another idea. So check out where you're putting your calls to action. Sounds super crazy, but we actually have a case study here at Shogun of a brand that actually did this. They looked to see what their CTA, the placements of their CTA buttons. They ran an A/B test, moving the call to action button above the fold. It resulted in a whopping 80% increase in conversion rate on the product page. That's crazy. But changes like this are actually possible through a focused effort on optimizing key pages in the customer journey. I'll drop a link to the case study in the description so that you can learn more. Check it out. It's really fascinating. I'm sure now you're fully educated on the impact that A/B testing can have on your e-commerce store. But how can you actually get started? Well, that's where Shogun comes into play. Let me take you through how e-commerce merchants on Shopify can set up tests quickly using the Shogun A/B testing app. Now we're going to jump over and I'll show you how to use it. Here we are in the A/B testing app, and I want to show you how it's done. Pretty simple. We'll just go ahead and create a new test from scratch. We'll do a page test. And this is going to be a homepage test for me. So I'm going to just create a sample name here, homepage test 1. We're going to choose our page, which will be our homepage. And our next step here will be to create our variant. So I'm going to create a copy of the original as my base. And then I'm going to edit this page in Shopify. This will bring us directly into the Shopify editor, which should be very familiar as a Shopify merchant and using. And so for this particular test, we've got our homepage here. I want to add a featured product in between these two sections to see if that helps to improve the conversion rate of the page. So I'm going to click feature product here. And then I'm going to search for the product I'd like to add. And that looks good. So I'd like to keep that there. And so here you can see we've added a featured product. And my hope is that adding this featured product right below the hero section will give more opportunity for a conversion, someone adding to cart or buying now on the home page here. So you can add, we could edit this page in any way that you can edit any page within Shopify within the editor. So it's really useful. It's very simple. So I like this. So I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay, so now we've saved. Okay, so now we have to get back basically to our test. So we'll exit here. This test will be in draft form. So you can see the test we just created here. So I'll open this back up, still in draft form now that we've created our page variant. And I can set the amount of traffic split that I'd like. So I want to be a little bit conservative. So I'd like to make this a 75-25 to start because I want to be a little bit conservative with the new version. Don't necessarily want to mess anything up with the current homepage. And then we'll be interested in conversion. Let's see, I'll just do click through. You can pick the test goal you'd like to test against. And then you can add some audience segmentation if you'd like to add an audience segmentation for the test as well. If you want to, choose a certain segment of customers to show the variant to, et cetera. In this case, I want to show it to all, so I won't add an audience segment for now. And then I'm going to review my test. Make sure you're giving your test a unique name. Looks good to me. Then I click Start Test. All right, folks, now you know just a little bit more about how to A/B test on your e-commerce store. Let me know in the comments below. What are you going to test first? Dying to hear from you guys. Also, check out the description. I'm going to drop some links for our A/B testing case study, the Shogun A/B testing app, our e-commerce A/B testing guide, the blog post version, so you can see a full printout version of that as well. And as usual, like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Takes 1 sec. Just click that like button. We're going to be coming out with a lot more content for e-commerce merchants, e-commerce marketers. You're going to really like what we're putting out. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, happy selling.